Hello everybody, it's Liam here, and today I'm going to be showing you my Google Drive podcast content, title, description, generator. Oh my God, what a mouthful. But basically, I have a podcast and sometimes I'm super lazy and I don't want to come up with a title or description. So I'd put it in this, it would automatically sort it for me, transcribe it, get the summary, and then generate some titles and descriptions that I could use depending on what I'd like. So I'll show you what like my file currently looks like. So it's Liam's content. So this is my Liam's content, right? It goes into audio. So I have an audio content. It's a drafts and a recorded. So anything I put into drafts will be it'll be like my Dropbox kind of where it goes in and then the automation will pick it up, put it into recorded, and format it into 2024. So if I'm ever doing podcasts, which I probably will, in 2025, the hope is this will keep running and keep it sane and keep me sane anyway, so I don't lose track of everything. Format the month, and then it'll be put in here. And then each of these has its own folder. So let's say I had getting bored of web dev is one I had because I'd run an agency for a little bit and I was just getting super bored of it. And basically, uh, it puts the file in here of I'm getting bored, so you know it's put together. You have the title, and then you also have a Google Doc file with everything inside of it. So this is one of the titles you can use. You have some alternate titles you can use that are just a few ideas. You have the full transcription, so you actually know what you were saying. And you have the summary of the transcription, so you don't have to waste your time reading the whole transcription. And it's in the past 6 to 8 months, I've been running a web development agency and learning various skills such as lead gen, product delivery, working with clients, etc., etc. Super useful to keep track of everything. It's one of those things where you need it when it like exists and it comes back, but like you don't realize how much you need it. It's one of those. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to build it on the same canvas because it's a pretty confusing automation at times, and I already have it built out. It took a couple hours, so I'm just gonna refine it down to maybe half an hour, I think. So let's see how good at assuming time I am. So we begin with you need to watch all the folders or the files in a folder. So here we are, and I'm just gonna move this over, and it'll be my drive. It'll be choose here, and it'll be Liam's content. It'll be audio, boom, and then it'll be the drafts. There you go. So depending on how many you put, it'll be like depending on how often you run it, because I have mine running it's currently 3 days a week, once a day for 3 days a week, so 3 times a week. Um like I don't like do like the recordings like super often, but like if I did I'd have it more often, less often, and it can mess up if you have too many limits. If you put the limit too high, there can be sometimes a disconnect between Make and the servers, and then it just crashes, and then you get a headache because you have to fix it afterwards. So I'm just throwing that out there. I've had it happen to me. It's like it's just not fun at all. So from here, you have to download the file that you had here, and all you do is you just put the file ID in the corner. So here, perfect. And then I need to say okay. And then from here, you need to just transcribe it. So this is very standard so far. Like, you should be able to do this by yourself. If not, you are here. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So create a transcription, SE or IPTION of this file, please. Perfect. So what's nice is the Google Drive is an MP3 file or MP4. So or no MP3. So it's not very like hefty on the data, like the data size, which is really nice. I'm just gonna rename this because I'm gonna use it later. TORANS. So it's nice because yeah, so because Make has about, depending on what plan you're on, has about 5-ish gigabyte what's the word? like data transfer, and these files are like, depending on what you do, like 3 to 5 MB long, which isn't a lot because you'd have to do what 1,000 podcasts 5 minutes long. No, that sounds wrong. I'm not even gonna try to do math. It's not even worth it. So from here, you could use ChatGPT to transcribe it, but that's really expensive sometimes, and also sometimes the content window isn't enough. So ChatGPT only has so I'm just going to create a completion because it needs to be used here anyways. So ChatGPT has a content window of 4 to 16K depending on which one you choose. So some of these are 4, like the GPT-4s are 16K, and then there's one 3.5 turbo that's 16K, and it depends on what you want. Like it really just depends on what you want. But I was like, why don't we have some fun? And I went searching around and I found this one called APY Hub, which is really cool. They basically have it set out. So when you come into the catalog, you can come into artificial intelligence, and they have a load of these. How do I describe it? Ooh, X out on the cookies and fill these. Yeah, they've a load of these kind of like AI ones where you can figure out certain things. I'm pretty sure they're just like trained GPTs that they're using, but yeah, who the hell knows? So it'll take a little bit of tech whizzing around, and I'll just show you how to do it. So you need to make a HTTP request to them. I'll show you how to do that now. So you come down here, you make a request, drop it in between, because I'll need this anyways. And what you do is you need the URL, which is always going to be, where is it? Here. So this is the URL here, and you copy the URL and you put it in here. This is going to be a post request because you're posting information over and you're hoping to get it back. And you come to the headers and you come to the name, and you need to put the name as APY key, I'm pretty sure. Where is it? Yes, here we go. So it's APY key. So this is a header, and a header is basically like something you have to, it's hard to describe. It's just basically like a key into it, like it's called an API key. So I'm just going to generate an API key here just to show you guys. So this is just a test. So you'll copy it, you'll generate it and copy it, and then you'll put it in here. So when you send a request over now, it'll let you in because it knows you have an account here and it can track you, which sounds really, really odd when I say it out loud. But look, what can you do? So you put this as raw, as JSON, because we're going to be putting JSON format. And then if anybody, okay, I'm back. I think my OBS cut, so we are on the second bit. I got on about 2 more modules, and I realized that it had cut. If it had cut out while I was properly building, I think I would have cried when I was done because this is like half an hour long or something. But basically, to cut a long story short, I think where I was sending the request content. So I'm just gonna run through it really fast again. So the URL here is from this part here, url.txt, summarize text. And then from here, you send a post request, and then it'll be an APY token. The reason being is you get the APY token from here. It's like a header sent via a key. And then the value is you'll get the token here. So you just generate an API key, throw in a name, get the token, and drop it in. And then you do raw JSON, and then the request is you send in JSON format again. So summary length is long because it's about 100 words, and you send a text, which is just text, and then you parse the response. Boom. That's that done. You're all caught up today. Now to show you where I built and you guys didn't exist, because stuff disconnects. So now the next point in this next module is to uh, develop the titles necessary for to develop the titles necessary for the the script. Oh God, what am I saying? So what you'll need to do is you'll need to set out, first of all, a ChatGPT module. You can use GPT-4, whatever you want really. And the first one you'll need is a system. So system is usually giving it like a trait. You could say it's like giving them a gender. Oh my God. But no, it's like a yeah, so it's a system, and basically you give it like a trait. So I'll say you are sorry, you are a virtual assistant. Sorry, I'm still thinking back to my past joke. Right. And then that's just saying you are a virtual assistant, right? I'm just gonna give it a 3000 token max because it's easier. And then I'm just gonna copy and paste from here because it's faster. Right. So I say to it, your job is to take the summary I'm about to gift you and come up with 5 short and concise titles that sum up what the audio is about from different angles. If you use quotation mark at all, replace it with slash quotation mark. And the reason for this is that quotation marks inside JSON break the JSON unless you have it formatted a certain way. That's like a code thing. So basically, don't let it do that, or else it'll break the system. And then the next thing you're going to ask it to do is to output it in this specific format. So the reason you use this specific format is because when you parse the JSON later, it'll output it in a specific format, which is super, super duper helpful, right? It'll just make building the rest of this flow so easy. And it's just super, super easy. And then what you do is you use the assistance API. So the assistance part, and you just train it on what it should be doing. So guys, don't judge my decision on what I decided to put in. It was just what came out of ChatGPT when I asked it to give me one. So if I just do this and add a message and I go into assistant and then this, and then you just change the input to this data or data, whatever you want to say. So I just say like, this is the output, title 1, debunking myths, the truth about climate change. And I use the backslash quotation marks as an example, just in case they have it, just in case. And then 5 scientific facts about climate change you can't ignore. Oh my God. The power of vaccination, guys. I could not have picked a more controversial topic. How lovely. Um, but we're going to stay away from that because I am not here for that. And then you give it the, don't forget to give it the data. And so now we're here, and I didn't bring the summary over. So I'm gonna run this module just by itself. And then when I run it, it'll give me an output of, just give it 2 seconds. Also, I'm gonna rename it title whenever I get the chance. There we go. So pivoting in business from web development to high-end coding, business model transformation, embracing automation and coding, and new business challenge. You know what? Pretty good. I like those. Those are some good titles. I'm pretty happy actually. And then from here, you want to parse the JSON response. So you get a JSON module, parse it like that, and you just input this string in here. The reason you do that is because you then get the variables to mess around with later on. Ooh, sorry. Wow, I just cannot click buttons right now. Holy moly. And then you parse the JSON module, and now you have the variables for each one. Super insanely helpful. You have no idea. Like, just insanely helpful. And then from here, you want to set variables. So set multiple variables. This just helps later on with the time. So later on, you're going to be setting like time and stuff, and it just makes life easy. Like I'm all about making life easy when I'm building these things because they're already like really damn confusing as it is. So I think it's year. Whoa, I can't spell. Year. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually just duplicate the module and just show you. It's just easier because I have it built out already. So basically, it's drive here. So what's going to happen is you're going to ask it to format the date and get y. And I'll show you this. So the y and like GGG and WO is just tokens for datetime formatting, like universal to like computers and stuff, which you should probably know because it's really helpful. And like Y is just 4 digit for the year, like 2 digit for the year, and then 1970. Just all this stuff, super helpful. So what you're gonna get is you're gonna get, so you ask it to format date. So format date, you're gonna ask it to get the now, and then you're going to ask it to get the Y. And then from here, you're going to ask it to do the month, which is the same thing, which is format date, now, and then MMMM. And then the last one, which is the date, gets a bit more complicated because you want to get the format date of the month minus 1. So I'll show you. So format date, you want to then add the months and then set the date. So it's a bit confusing. Actually, I'll just show. So you want to format the date first. So format the date, you want to do MMMM. There's a reason for this. I'm pretty sure this is actually, let me see, where is this being used? Format date, create month, 1 month before. I actually think I have that in the wrong. Do I even use that? I might be fixing my own thing on the fly here. I thought that was drive month. Oh, actually, you don't need that. I'm a fool. I don't know why that's there. You actually don't need that. We're gonna leave that be. That's so funny. Whoopsies. So now we're going to search for drive folders. The reason we do this is we're initially looking for the 2024 audio, right? Inside, wait, recorded. Yeah, so recorded 2024 audio just to see if the folder exists. Obviously, it probably will because you only have to do it once a year. But you want to build these things to last. So search for folders. Also, the fact it's not straight is kind of annoying, but whatever. So you want to search inside the Liam's content, so whatever your content folder is, because I have a few content pieces inside. And then you do the, well, audio content for me, and then inside the recorded. So recorded will come up. So now you've searched inside the folder. And you're going to see, enter a custom search query, and you're going to see if, so the year, because you want to keep this universal, the 2024 year audio actually exists. Oh, lovely. That's the idea, right? Folders, yeah, because you're gonna get a folder back. And from here, you see if it exists or not. And if it does or doesn't exist is up to you. So I'm just gonna bring this down a bit. So you then have to check if the drive does exist or if it doesn't exist. So we're gonna do this. So you want to set up a filter now. So if does exist, because the reason this is so helpful is because you save conditions or save like module runs, like because they after a while it kind of starts stacking up. So what you say is you just say if file ID does exist, right? And then this one is if file ID if doesn't exist. So if the file ID doesn't exist here, you split it up. So of course, so if it doesn't exist, right? You want to actually will do which one's faster. I can build this and then paste it. Yeah, we'll build the top row first. So if it does exist, you then want to search. Drive. You want to search to see if the month exists because now you're looking for the month. So I'm gonna map it, and actually, how did I built this a little bit ago. File ID. Oh, sorry. Yes. Whoa. You map it to this file ID. Right. My bad. So you're checking this folder and you want to retrieve a folder inside and you want to search for a full search text and you want to put it as the month. The reason you do this is because whenever this module runs, the month and the year will change. And this is again just to keep it relevant. And then what you do then is you then make another router, flow control router. Ooh, that is not what I wanted. So you make another router, and this basically just says like if this does exist again. So it's the same concept, right, guys? It's the same. It's not rocket science, okay? If does exist. Because you're just saving conditions again, and everyone loves to save conditions. Exists. Okay. And if doesn't exist. If file ID doesn't exist. Boom. If does and if doesn't exist. And then from here, oh shoot, what am I doing? Yeah, so then if it does exist, why is it, oh, that does, I don't like how that was. So from here, if it does exist, that means all you have to do is create the file that's going to house the MP3 file and also the text file that you're going to be generating. So I'm going to create folder. So you create the folder and you put it inside. So if it does exist, you can map it, and all you have to do is put it inside this file ID, which is this one here, because it does exist. And a new folder's name is going to be this first one. You can pick any of them, right? And then from here, you then have to move the file. So move the file slash folder, which is the file ID is the very beginning one, which is this one here. So file ID, you move this over to drive 96, which is this one here. So that's all you have to do. Oh, wow, the lag. Right? And then what you have to do is you're then creating a Google Doc that has all the like the summary and the transcript, all that stuff. So what's really helpful is I actually use an yeah, so I use HTML. So this is really useful because it makes it look more easily formatted. So I'm gonna put the name as and the content. So I'm just gonna paste it in, even though I don't. It's okay. It's not really right. Whatever. Um, collapse, and then we're just gonna open and then open. So title this, this, and yada yada. You get the point. And then the reason is, if anybody has any idea how HTML works, basically like it has like a ranking order of like HTML, H1, and then break break. So that's how I had it look like this. It looks kind of professional with a little bold here. And if you want to put it up into paragraphs, you can do that as well. Completely up to you. And if I just put this is the transcription, so this goes here. And then this is the summary, and this goes here. So look, perfect, all set out, looks perfect. And then now I can just copy and paste this down because I'm not trying to waste nobody's time. The new document location will map it to create folder on 96. So it's folder ID on 96 because we created folder. And boom, that is step one done. And all you have to do, because it just gets easier, you just take this, you go, oh, Control C, Control V. Oh my God. Guys, who would have thought copy and pasting would be this easy? No, people overcomplicated. There's no need. So so when you come down here, this folder doesn't exist. So you create a folder. The name is going to have to be the month. And then from here, you choose the location to be inside 92 because 92 is the year. So now you put the file ID, it'll create the folder, and then I think everything is, this is at 94, is it? Yeah, so you want to change that. That's wrong. I'm going to put this into 102. So this is very dangerous because if this is wrong, then it really can be wrong. And boom, and that's that set. And you just copy and paste this like an absolute G, and you go Control C and you go Control V, right? And then it's literally like as easy as that. So look, now you take this, you connect, and you go create uh create a folder, and then you map it, and then you create a folder that's called uh so the location is inside. Actually, this one you can actually map because this shouldn't change. So if you go to I have Liam content, which is the main one, you go to audio content and then recorded. So this is going to be different for everyone, but you can put the name as year and then dash audio. It doesn't really matter as long as it's consistent. And then this 103 should be folder location should be 107, and you're done. And that's it. That's literally it. So now whenever you put a file into here and it runs, it'll just spit out on the other end. So that's it. I use it myself, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Uh, have a good time building. Enjoy it. I'll see you guys. Bye.